Hello and welcome to Monorailroading for Dummies, the how-to show for monorailroading dummies just like me. Now I think this is going to be our final part for our elevator series. So what we're going to do is add the final parts and then put them on in the little details and stuff to finally finish the scene. So first thing we're going to do is go down to the desk and do a little bit of work on some of the details that I'm going to be adding to the elevator. Okay, here we are at the desk here. So, one thing I've got here are some of these bags of feed or flour or something from Woodland Scenics. So I got them mostly painted. I got 3/4 of them painted in brown, and they'll be sort of in the background. But then I got 1/4 of them painted white, and I'm gonna paint them a little. Get a second color as well, sort of as an accent color. So I'm using a purple one because, and I'm going to cover about half. Maybe do it at a bit of an angle. Try and get them approximately maybe the same size. Try and get just a little bit of color. I chose purple because this winter we got some creep feed for the lambs and the bags were purple, so I decided to just go with that. And in case any of you are wondering what creep feed is feed that you give to, in this case, lambs. You can also have it for calves too, where you have feed in a creep so that they can eat grain but their mothers cannot. So we have, actually what I usually end up doing is have a piece of a hay feeder which the lambs can very easily crawl through, but their mothers can only stick their heads through, so they can run through there and go into a pen where their mothers cannot. And then you get feed there constantly, so then they can start eating as soon as possible. And it relieves a little bit on their mothers. And they start growing faster. So I'm just gonna paint these. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this about right. Fortunately, these are going to be stacked on a pallet, so no big deal here if they're not absolutely perfect. Okay, that's all nicely painted. So now let's get some of these brown ones loose. Now the advantage about painting them on the sprue here is that they're all nice and solid and they're not going to move anywhere. The disadvantage is that there's going to be one little spot that's not painted. But as these are just going to be in the building itself, in that shadow box, it's probably going to be no big deal, especially as they're going to be on a pallet. Okay, so I think what we're going to use to glue these on the pallet is use some of this Zap Canopy glue. You can also use Scenic Accents glue from Woodland Scenics. So that would work good too, but I have this, so that's what we're using. Okay, before we glue anything down, let's test fit this. what do you know? They stack pretty much like they do in real life. 3 this way, 2 that way. So let's start stacking. So let's get those out of the way. Just get a little dab of glue. Oops. Okay, now we need to alternate the stack a little bit so that it holds together. Yeah, let's see, we got 5 more left. So that'll be good for a pallet. Just get 2 more of these trimmed off a bit. There we go. We got a nice little palette going here. So let's get the remaining of these off and put them on a pallet too. Okay, here we are, the layout. I got these bags all nicely painted and glued on. I think they turned out pretty good. So now we need to glue this stuff in. And so I just got some glue on the back of a communion cup. And just put a little bit on and let see if we could scooch this in. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh man, that is almost too perfect. Okay, now the tricky part. Okay. Got a figure here. Let's see, get it in focus, or try to. Now this is a guy that came from a Walters elevator workers thingy. No, I don't remember if it's Walters. I got it from Walters, I know that much. And so this guy here, he had a shovel in his hand, but I cut it off. I think I'm going to glue the shovel elsewhere. Because this guy looked like he would work the best for this little thing here. Don't ask me where I got it. I got it in some building. And I don't remember which one it was. So... yeah, it's going to be tight in there. There's not as much room as I imagined. So, let's see. Oh, shoot. That, oh boy. Okay, this side does not look as good, so I don't want to show that side. Let's see if we stick it in like so. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to have room for the little pallet mover or the guy, which is unfortunate, but still, I do like how this is looking, so let's get a little bit of glue. And just stick that in there. Okay, let's go elsewhere and put a couple figures in. Okay, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of work here. Let's see, let's take the little scoop shovel. Get a little dab just on the very bottom of it. And see if we can get this to lean up. Like that. There, that looks pretty good. A little bit of detail. Let's see, we got a guy here. Ooh, boy. Don't lose him. Okay, we got a guy here. He kind of looks a little bit important. Looks like he's grabbing something. Well, maybe he's getting something for, you know, the cars, you know, paperwork or something. So let's put him, let's put just a little bit of glue on his feet. Let's see if we can get them to stick in place. There, that looks pretty good. So we got a guy, it looks like he's walking. I'd like to put him up. Here, I'll move the camera. I think I'd like to see him walking up on here. Let's see. Yeah, I like him right about there. So let's get just a little bit of glue on his feet. Ooh, boy. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Okay. I only have special tweezers for grabbing minifigs. I don't have one of those yet. Let's see, he's leaning. Let's see if we can get this tweezers. There, that ought to hold him in place. Now, I'd like to have a third guy. Okay, let's go back to the shadow box. I think we'll put a little bit of glue on his feet. And put him right in the... Oh, boy. I'd like to put him right in that opening there. See, I think he's pointing the wrong direction. He's kind of pointed his head that way. I think it'd be more likely he pointed his head this way. Let's see if we can fix that. Yeah, let's see if we can fit him there. Let's put a little bit more glue on his feet. Make sure he sticks. Ooh. That was a bad angle. See, let's try and bring him in. Yes, that's the way to bring him in. Now, if I can only get him to... There we go. That looks pretty good. So now we just got to get the final pipe in. Okay, now it's time to add the final details. Now, one thing, I decided to add this here, this bracing thing. It comes with the Rick's kit. I painted it separately. I'm going to use this to help guide the, help hold it in place for the taping. So, got a piece of tape here. We're ready. So let's put a little bit of glue on the ends. Put this roughly in the middle. Put just a dab of glue to hold it in place. Okay. Okay, get this piece of tape over here. Okay, that worked fairly well. Not perfect by any means. But now we'll let this dry here. And then everything should be done. Okay, here's the finished result. And overall, I really like how this turned out. One final note I would like to add. I actually was able to slip in that pallet mover and slip it under the pallet of feed. So it's not glued in, it's just shoved in right under there, and it's actually tight enough so that it's not going to move. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. I like the mini. I like the little minifigures on the layout. I think they really add a little bit of life. It actually makes it look like there's someone who actually works here. I love the little grass tufts. I love how those turned out. I've wanted to get them for some time, but this is the first time I've been able to use them. I like how the decals turned out. I was real happy with that. So I mean, this is not exactly how I planned it, but overall I am very satisfied with how this has turned out. I mean, the conveyor system, it may not be the most prototypically accurate, but it is good enough so that it definitely passes muster. So that you can easily recognize this, like, yeah, I can see that from seeing it in elevators. So that's one thing I was fairly worried about. It's like, how am I gonna do this? And I winged it, and it turned out very well. So overall, this project has been, I consider this to be a big success for kitbashing this all together. It looks unique, and it looks fairly realistic in the fact that elevators are very unique. And one thing I do like about elevators is that, you know, when you have a building that's long lengthways, it's harder to hide the length and try and make it look longer than it actually is. But at least with height, your eye can't judge height as well. So even though this elevator is actually probably a lot shorter than it actually should be, it probably should be a lot taller. But the eye, you can have these buildings a little bit shorter to kind of fool the eye and still look very massive and impressive on the layout. So this is the finished project, and I love it. Okay, that's going to have to be it for today. And like I said, I really like how this has turned out. So I mean, it's unique, but yet it wasn't too difficult to build, which is real nice. So I mean, it's just an impressive industry as far as I'm concerned for my layout, and it looks just like an elevator, and that's what I love about it. So, and just to note, this video, as you probably already realized as you're watching this video came out a little bit late. It was supposed to come out Tuesday, but I had a busy weekend and things went on, and it wasn't able to get it to come out. So I think I'm going to take a week off before I get on to the next project. So there won't be a new video next week, but hopefully the week after that we'll start working on the next project. So if you like this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. If you do subscribe, make sure to hit the little bell icon so you can receive notifications when I release new content. So until next time, keep working on your model railroads, keep having fun, and until next time, keep your trains on the tracks.